Hello, good afternoon, and good morning. I'm LaKendra Tooks, and it's time for Tooks Takes. Now, listen, y'all, we got a big show today. We got to get into the Real Housewives of Orange Counties. We got to hide our daddies because Gretchen Rossi is back. Then we got to on delay on down to the Real Housewives of Miami. But first, now I thought this would be old news by now, but we are still enthralled in this Coldplay kiss cam affair. Oh, turns out La Karma's a Coldplay fan. All used to rule the world. Well, first of all, now, y'all, you know this is a real affair because going to a concert together, baby, that's love. You are in love. I have only ever been to concerts with people I love. So they're in love. And the only person I feel sorry for in this situation is this dude, Andy Byron. I feel bad for his wife, Ms. Megan Kerrigan. Okay. If I was Megan, you call me. Okay. Because if I was Megan, I'd be like, look here. I would be telling my husband, you want to play shenanigans? Baby, I am shenanigans. I'm Shannon Gins. Don't try to play me like a Coldplay CD. Oh, you want to have an open marriage? Let's go. Open it up. Let's bust this marriage wide open, baby, because nobody asked Andy Byron to get open. But I know there's a lot of young, hot men out there that want us ladies of a particular age to be open. So this guy, Andy Byron, his fave Coldplay song is definitely Yellow. Because he's a coward. I mean, dude, come on. You're fooling around with somebody at work, you're going to concerts, you're getting caught on the kiss cam, la karma, la karma, la karma. Now let's learn more about the wife, Megan Kerrigan. We're keeping her in our prayers. The artist formerly known as Megan Kerrigan Byron, Megan Kerrigan Byron, but she done dropped the Byron and I don't blame her. She said, call me Ms. Kerrigan, please. Justice for Megan Kerrigan. May you get all the alimony, all the offshore accounts. And then I say, sue this little stringy haired home wrecker. Ruin their lives. Because how dare you go to the Coldplay concert when I asked you to pick up some milk on your way home from work? And you're at the concert getting called out by Chris Martin on the kiss cam? Baby. No, baby. I need to know, Miss Megan Kerrigan, is she related to Nancy Kerrigan? Because I'm sure this whole event just felt like a baseball bat to the knees. Now, she has already now. I took the liberty of doing a little bit of research, and I found an Us Weekly article with some information about Miss Kerrigan. Now, she has already taken down all of her social media, which is smart. I mean, that's the first thing I do after a breakup. I don't want any photographic evidence that we were ever happening. So, she took down all the social media. She scrubbed her social media. And the lady that Andy Byron was caught with now, her name is Kristen Cabot. Kristen Cabot, I got my good eye on you too, girl. Because, And then what else has she done? Now, strangers have been sending her support. Strangers like me, they're talking about me. Strangers are sending her support. People like me. I'm sending you all my support, Ms. Kerrigan, because this sucks. No woman deserves this. And, it's like she'll never be able to enjoy Coldplay again. But here's my hope for you, Miss Kerrigan, Megan Kerrigan. I hope that you take all his money, ruin their lives, and one day, you'll be able to enjoy Coldplay again. Chris Martin, if you're listening, I think you should send Megan Kerrigan some free tickets to the concert. Let her be able to come and enjoy the concert on her own, okay? Now, let's bailamos to the Real Housewives of Miami. Now, there were mucho ay Dios míos moments this episode, too many to count. So let's just pick up right where we left off last week. Late Lisa versus new girl Stephanie, the businesswoman. Now, the other girls are used to Lisa being tardy to the party, so they're numb to it. But this new girl, Stephanie, now y'all know she is a businesswoman, okay? Time is money. This would never fly in the boardroom. I'm a businesswoman. Blah, 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 blah. Now, Adriana, she's having this Greek goddess party where, she's got her Instagram life coach. It's all about narcissists and narcissism. Now, I will say, I said this last week, Adriana, I think, just wanted an excuse to wear her beautiful new toga. And I see why. She looks great. Her toga is the best one. She's got the best look. She introduces the ladies to her Australian Instagram life coach, and she introduces him as an author. Girl, come on. Mark Twain is an author. And I know whatever books this man has written, I mean, I know Alexia hasn't read them. She definitely didn't even get past the table of contents. But anyway, I'm calling him Crocodile Dundee because he's a crock of crap. Okay. Now he's got to try to get these ladies together, but Adriana really wants him to get her together because Adriana's horny. She's horny. She's like, look, baby, I'd really like to turn the pages of your book. If you know what I mean. She wants to go down under and let him play with her out back. Ooh. Now, I think that Adriana should be on the next season of Love Hotel. Okay. And you know who else should be on the next season of Love Hotel? Megan Kerrigan. Coldplay Kiss Cam girl. This girl, we are gonna milk this for you. Bravo, you call me. We got to get Megan Kerrigan on either Love Hotel or MILF Manor. Okay, y'all call me. We got to make this happen. You know what? I'm gonna be Megan Kerrigan. If you're listening, I want to be your life coach, honey. I can coach you on how to ruin your stupid husband's life. Okay, I want to see this woman rise up, overcome this like a bad bitch. Megan Kerrigan, I cannot wait to see you win. Okay, back to the narcissism Greek goddess party. The ladies are like, oh, okay, it's a party about narcissists. Clearly, Alexia wanted to throw this party about Todd, or should I say Todd Rika, because Todd is out here spilling tea on this new girl, Stephanie. Ooh, I don't know if y'all see Todd on Instagram. He said they actually in foreclosure. He's like, ooh, they're not as rich as they pretending to be on TV. Ooh, interesting. Now, this new girl, Stephanie, she's like, look, aren't all business people narcissists? I'm a business person. No, you're not. Okay, Stephanie, let's just stop it. You're a girl who married a really old dude, and he lets you do stuff for him because he's too tired to do it himself. That does not a businesswoman make. And then Lisa, now, listen, are all the housewives a little narcissistic? Probably. It's probably what makes them great housewives. You got to be a little narcissistic, a little self-absorbed and delulu. Lisa's over there doing a photo shoot. I don't blame her because she looks great. And then new girl Stephanie goes up to Lisa. She was acting all bout it on the bus. But then when she's face to face with late Lisa, she folded like origami. I'm looking at Stephanie like, why are you apologizing to Lisa about Lisa being 2 hours late? Let me tell y'all something. If you do something wrong and I yell at you about it, I'm not going to apologize for yelling at you. You deserve that yell. So I'm yelling. I'm going to yell some more. Now, the girls want to know, what's the latest on the Larlisa feud? Larsa says her and Lisa need to have a conversation. And then Julia chimes in. She's like, yes, because Gertie and I talked, okay? And then, okay, y'all have to tell me what y'all think. Y'all leave me a comment or slide my DMs or something. Do y'all think they are just editing Gertie to seem like a total motor mouth? Because she is really motor mouthing a lot this episode. I mean, I love her, but even I was like, Gertie, shut up. But then, okay, so we just saw Julia brought it up. So then Julia in her confessional is like, why is Gertie bringing it up? I thought we moved forward. Julia, are you actually crazy? Because I don't know. I mean, clearly you brought it up. Like we just saw you bring it up, okay? Like I'm worried about Julia. I feel like she might suffer from some sort of Kelly Ben Simone order. I'm over here like, you're crazy. Go to sleep. Okay, so anytime the housewives play games, no one wins except us, the audience. And this game involves red flags, which is a huge red flag. Now, and this guy, so the guy, the Australian fake Instagram life coach, okay, he's leading the game. Question 1, who talks about themselves the most? Well, even I know. Lisa, definitely. And then Lisa's like, well, maybe I tell my problems to the wrong people. But everybody put their red flag in Lisa's vase. And then this is so funny. I feel like sociologists should study this. We get some textbook tit for tat. And these are some big old fake tits. So it's big fake tits for tat. Mine are real. But okay, so Larlisa, here we go. Lars is like, you think your problems are the biggest problems in the room, and you never ask us about our problems. And Lisa's like, well, how am I supposed to know? How will I know if you never tell me? And then Larsa's like, well, you never answer your phone. And Lisa's like, well, you need to tell the truth because I have receipts. And Larsa's like, baby girl, I am the receipt. Ooh, then we get that little suspenseful music. Dun, 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 dun. We get that music, and Lisa's like, "Oh, good one. Is that your Halloween costume?" And then Lars is like, because Larsa goes low. Lars is like, "Oh yeah, well why don't you try getting a dress in your size that actually fits your misshapen silicone-filled body correctly?" And everybody's like, "Whoa, well, they can't help but laugh because it's like you know how you have that one friend that always takes it like you're having a little fun, doing a little light tit for tat, and you have that one friend that takes it too far. That's Larsa. Larsa will take it there. Larsa, you didn't have to go there. You really are the larcenous, okay? Okay, so now it's time for another question. Who's the quickest to take offense? Again, Lisa gets the most red flags. Lack of accountability. Again, Lisa gets the most red flags. But Lisa puts her flag in Larsa's vase. And Larsa plops her big old butt right up and puts her flag in Lisa's vase. Petty Pippin. Gertie's just in the corner laughing, having a good time because this is stupid, right? Here comes Julia coming back to you with the bull S. I'm going to start calling Julia Delulia because she crazy. Now, as we recall, just last week at her and Gertie's apology dinner, she said, if someone asks me how it went, I would say it's between you and I. Now, here she comes. What do you do when someone hurts you deeply and they only partially apologize? Croc of Crocodile Dundee is like, a partial apology? That's not good enough. And then Julia's like, she called me horrible names. Now, how can I ever move on? And Gertie said, now hold up. Hold up, Mr. Crocodile Dundee. You need to know the context because I had just been physically assaulted. I was the victim of a Russian missile attack in the form of a drink thrown at me. And then Julia DeLulia, girl, I'm sorry. Now, y'all know I am not Dr. Joyce Brothers, but I know crazy when I see it. And Julia DeLulia, you crazy. I'm actually worried about these kids you're adopting because you and Martina are crazy. Yeah, I said what I said. You're both absolutely crazy, and I'm very concerned about the two of you raising two young little black boys. Once again, I said what TF I said. Okay, so then the last question. Who plays the victim the most? Larsa gets, I ain't never seen Larsa move that fast. She grabs Lisa's flag again. And Lisa can't stand up because her dress is too tight. It doesn't fit her. And she's like, no, you are mad about an Instagram post from 4 months ago. And then Lisa's like, you haven't apologized for anything. And blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, Lisa's going on. Everyone's putting their red flags in Lisa's face. Everyone. Because Lisa, I love you, girl. You know I love you. I love your big old lips. I love all your silicone. But you do play the victim a lot, girl. Now, I love you. But you do play the victim a lot. So, the Larlisa feud wages on. And new girl Stephanie, the businesswoman, she's like, all I can think about is work. All I can think about is all the emails and Zooms I have to do. I'm like, girl, you are not Vicky Gunvalson, okay? You are not running Koto Insurance, okay? I'm sure the company is getting along just fine without you for one evening. Okay, Stephanie? But I will say, in this moment, I do feel a little bad for Lisa because it's a bit of a pile up, a gang up, okay? And you know, I'll give Lisa credit. She doesn't really bring up Lenny too much anymore. And, and she's still dealing with a lot with Lenny. And she just lost her dad. This does feel like a little bit too much. I agree with what everyone is saying, but it's a little too much, okay? And so Lisa is like, look, you guys, How can you all take Larsa's side right now? How can everyone forget about all the terrible things that Larsa has done over the years, including spilling the beans about Gertie's cancer diagnosis? So listen, Gertie, I love Gertie. Gertie's like, look, I beat cancer. I bet I can solve this Larlisa feud. I'm gonna play mediator. And she sits in another throne. How many thrones did this place have? There was the throne. Alexia was sitting in a throne. Gertie found a throne to sit in. This place is like Game of Thrones because it's just thrones on thrones on thrones. So Gertie's sitting in a throne, just chiming in like a parrot. She's like, you always lead with that. Just say you're sorry. Gertie, girl, you're a mess. Like she was driving the girls crazy, but I was cackling. Okay, so the party's over. It's the next day or whenever, and Julia. She's getting her home ready. She has to have like the case manager come visit because she's adopting. And I just hope, for your sake, Julia DeLulia, I hope the adoption agency is not watching this season of The Real Housewives of Miami. And you better pray they don't follow Martina on Twitter. Because I'm going to say it one more time. I am worried about these kids. I mean, two crazy moms. I just had one crazy mom, and she effed me up just enough to make me hilarious. But two crazy moms, that's too much. Now, we go to a little dinner scene with new girl Stephanie, her old husband, and her old parents because they're all the same age. And she's like, I secretly installed surveillance cameras all over my parents' house in case they fall. Yeah, that's normal, you businesswoman, Stephanie. And then she's like, my husband is 65 and my dad is 67? Yikes. And I need to know more about what's really going on with her sisters. I want to hear the sisters' side of the story. Stephanie's sisters, if you're listening, call us here at Tooks Takes because I want to know what's going on. Because I need to know how Stephanie's dad, who is 67, is cool with his daughter marrying a 65-year-old, but now he's estranged from his other daughters. What's really going on? I feel like it's something about money. Gotta be. So then we get to see Gertie and her husband at couples therapy. And, she shares more about her battle with cancer. She shares a moment when she was ready to give up the fight. And her sweet husband, Russell, he leaned over and said, no, I need you. And Russell's like, you think I'm traumatized by this? I'm not traumatized. I'm amazed by you. And I'm just over here catching the Holy Ghost because I'm like, Lord, this is the type of husband I'm looking for. This is the type of support I need. Russell, if you're listening, do you have a brother? And then, Gertie opens up about the abandonment issues that she's had since childhood, and she gets triggered by being excluded. Now, we all know we cannot use our childhood trauma as an excuse for bad behavior, but sometimes it is good context for why some people behave the way they do. So I was actually really glad that Gertie shared that with us. Now, y'all, it's time for the final Larlisa showdown. Ding, ding, ding. So Lars is sitting there like, look, I've never been thrown out of a party. And Lisa's like, I've never been sworn at. And Lars is like, yes, you have. Now, this all started when Lisa accused Larsa of planting the photos of Marcus sniffing snow. And Larsa's like, how could I leak it? What does she think I am? The CIA? And then she's like, you're a narcissist, Lisa. You're running low on friends. I guess I'm just a better friend than you. And everyone agrees with me. And that's why you got all those red flags in your vase. And Lisa's like, you know what? I'm going to the bathroom. And she goes to the bathroom and she calls Alexia on speaker loud. Someone else is in the stall just trying to pee in peace. And Lars is just sitting at the table unbothered. Like, I need to reach the Larsa level of unbothered in my life. Lisa's crying in the bathroom. Larsa's sitting at the table on Instagram taking selfies, and judging by the posts that she was looking at, this must have been filmed during the elections. And I don't want to talk about the election. Now, when it comes down to the narcissist election, Lisa wins. She's the number one narcissist in the group. But Lisa tells Larsa, oh, yeah, well, you're a narcissist. And then Lisa is on the phone in the restaurant talking so loud on speakerphone that the maitre d' has to come and shush her. The maitre d' has to come and say, ma'am, can you please take that call outside? Y'all, when a black person tells you you're being too loud, Baby, you being too loud. You need to lower your mother effing voice and watch your tone. So Lisa heads back to Larsa, and they both finally trade their red flags for white flags and apologize. Larsa's like, look, I literally have the cutest pictures with you. So we finally got a ceasefire in the Larlisa feud. But next week, next week's episode looks good. The Gertie slash Delulia feud kicks up a notch, and then new girl Stephanie is going gill to gill with Barracuda Alexia. Ay Dios mío. Next week looks good. But before we can get to that, we got to talk about the Real Housewives of Orange County, y'all. Now, the girls have just returned from their trip at the Golden Bidor, and Jemily and Tamra are getting a lymphatic drainage massage. And y'all, this lymphatic drainage massage that they're getting, it looks a little erotic. I felt a little uncomfortable. I felt like I needed an adult, okay? Or maybe I just need one of these machines in my life. I mean, I think I could see myself in a committed relationship with one of those lymphatic drainage machines. Instead of being toxic, it'll help me release all my toxins. Now, maybe these machines can help Emily and Tamra be a little less bitter and biatchy, because Gina's like, Tamra, I see that you're really trying with Shannon. Give me a break. Tamra is so fake. Like, Shannon has been burned by Tamra too many times. I do not blame Shannon for just really taking it easy with Tamra. The friendship will never be what it was. And then Emily Hulk was like, I couldn't stand seeing Shannon defend Katie. Roar! Shut up, Hulk. And listen, y'all. Y'all know I'm a flip-flopper. I started out the episode liking Katie. This might be one of my fastest flip-flops of all time, because by the end of the episode, I'm really side-eyeing Katie. Because, okay, at first, I'm like, I don't know if she's a liar. She's talking to the bloggers, but everybody talks to the bloggers. And also, Emily and Tamra, whether people are talking to the bloggers or not, the bloggers don't like you, because nobody likes you. Y'all are very mean. And I do think they were ganging up on Katie. It was Heather, Jemily, and Tamra, the bitches of East OC. And Katie says when people are yelling at her like that, she freezes up. And I get that, but girl, this is Housewives, baby. Yell back. Flip a table. Channel your Annie Kelly Dodd and get mean. Go low. They go low. You go lower. You go underground. If I was Katie, I would not be doing any more apologies. I tell the bitches of East OC to F off. So what if I did talk to the bloggers? What you gonna do about it? This is why we need diversity in Housewives. Are there no lovely black ladies in the OC? Y'all, should I move to the OC? Because I'll do it. I will move to the OC and I will join this cast. Just so you can have one person in the mix who says, excuse me. I'd be willing to be that girl. Okay, so let's go back in time to last year at their gallery shoot. It's like the promo shoot that the Housewives do at the end of every season. Now, Tamrat says that Katie filmed Shannon having a full meltdown at the gallery shoot. Now, they say Shannon arrives 2 hours late, and Shannon was having a bad day. Shannon was pissed that Jesus Jugs was at the photo shoot. And according to Tamrat, Katie and Shannon were sharing a dressing room, and Katie was on the phone with her husband. She hung up without even saying goodbye and started filming Shannon Bador in the midst of a meltdown. And Tamra says that Katie shows the video to Alexis Jesus Jugs Boobs McGillicuddy. And Gina's like, they were in the middle of a lawsuit that could be used as evidence. So Shannon, now I'm looking at this though, because I know that Tamra is a liar and an embellisher. But I'm like, could Shannon not see that Katie was filming her? And who's going to tell her? Someone's got to tell her. Like, we cannot have this going on for like several episodes. Like, we got to nip this in the bud now. So Katie is having this get to know me luncheon. And I have a feeling it's gonna turn into a accuse Katie of stuff luncheon. And y'all, maybe I just need to move to the OC so I could be Shannon Bador course, wing woman, because the poor girl is just so unlucky in love. Now her daughter Sophie is back in town, and I like Shannon's girls. They seem like good girls. You never hear any negative press about them. And she's talking about how Shannon tried to date a guy from Love Hotel. Remember, she was on that show, Love Hotel. It didn't work out. But maybe I should go on Love Hotel. Is that what I should I go on Love Hotel? Maybe Love Motel. Love Ramada. I'll go on Love Econolodge. Anything to get me off these dating apps. And Shannon doesn't want to be on the dating apps either. She says she is good just being single right now. And baby, I feel that. Stay single and hang out with your dog, Archie. Yes, Archie is so adorable. Sometimes the only man you need in your life is your dog. Not a man, that's a dog. Just stick with your dog, okay? Stick with Archie, Shannon. So Emily, and my heart goes out to Emily and Shane. She's still trying to figure out what's going on with her little boy because he's not eating. She gave him French fries. He couldn't even just enjoy the French fries. He's got the flashlight inspecting every French fry. I'm like, dang, poor kid. Baby, eat the fries while you can, while you're young and you have a metabolism. Eat the fries. If I could be a kid again for just one day, I'd eat fries all day long. And y'all know I'm not a fan of Emily or Shane. But let's get serious for a minute because I'm worried about Emily's little boy, okay? She said not only is he not eating, but sometimes he doesn't want to go to school and he's completely unmotivated. She had to get him dressed. She even had to brush his little teeth. And Shane's like, look, Shane says, I want to work with the child and make sure he doesn't feel lesser than or feel inferior due to whatever it is he's going through. Meanwhile, Emily just wants to flip a switch and fix it. And I get that, because that's a very Hulk state of mind. The Hulk just flips a switch and goes crazy. And I get it because no one wants to see their child suffer. But baby, these things take time. And my heart goes out to any of you in the Kensday crew or Team Tooks. If you're going through anything like that, struggling with something like this with your kids, please be patient with the kids and the treatment and yourself. Kids are very resilient. Kids are, they're fine. You can throw them out in traffic. Remember when we were kids, all that crap we ate? We're still here. We go through things as children and we overcome it. So, Emily, Hulk, I hope your little boy starts eating again soon. And whatever he's going through, we all are going to keep him and your family in our prayers. Because I hate to think of an adorable little boy suffering, even if his mama gets on my nerves. So, little baby Luke, our prayers are with you. And hopefully you'll be able to enjoy French fries again soon. So my girl Jen Petrani, Hottie Petrani, she's having Katie and her husband, whose name I don't know. She's having them over for dinner. And Katie's husband was originally kind of concerned about getting to know Ryan because of all the FBI allegations. And Jen is now engaged to Ryan, and the FBI never came and did anything to Ryan. So like Tamra's a liar once again. So Heather goes to visit Tamra. She's like, I've got champs and onion rings. Well, listen, Tamra, I was hanging out with Gretchen the other day. Gretchen. Gretchen's back, y'all. Hide your daddies. Did you go to Bass Lake? Do you have a nose, Gretchen? Because if you've seen her Instagram, you know that Gretchen is in a committed relationship with the blurry feature on Facetune. She is not willing to allow any of us to ever see her pores. But Heather hangs out with Gretchen. So does Katie. And so does Jen Hottie Petrani, because Slade and Gretchen arrive at Ryan and Jen's for dinner. Now, Jen reached out to Gretchen last year for advice on how to deal with Tamrat. And Gretchen said, girl, run, girl, run. So Gretchen and her longtime non-husband Slade, they've been together for 16 years. 16 years of shacking up. But I honestly, y'all, I think these two are twin flames. I think they were made for each other. And now they've got a little girl. And, they've been going through a lot. Gretchen's like, why haven't we gotten married? We didn't have time. In 16 years? Well, we had to go through IVF to have the baby. The kid is 5.5. How do you not have time to get married? I mean, the real truth is the reason they haven't gotten married is because Slade has all those financial issues. I don't know if he still owes back child support. I don't know, but I do have a good feeling the reason they have not gotten married is because of Slade's financial issues, because I'm pretty sure several seasons ago Gretchen straight up either said that or alluded to that. But then Gretchen's like, look, Slade and I, maybe we're not married, but we will have the last laugh because everybody that tried to say our relationship was fake is now divorced. So take that. Slade stayed. And Jen and Gretchen both are like, why is Katie being held to this different standard? Like, Tamra's a liar, and why won't anyone stand up to her? You know, why are these girls so afraid of Tamra? Are they scared she's gonna have the whole trailer park go after them? And Katie's husband, whose name I don't know, Katie's husband is mad. Him and Slade, they call Tamra Captain Evil. So back at Tamra's house, Tamra tells Heather that Jen is very insecure. And Tamra says that Jen wanted her life. Girl, the Lululemons. Tamra, nobody wants your little sad life. Nobody wants to be married to Eddie. Nobody wants kids that don't speak to them. Nobody wants an oldest son that's a loser and a farmhand doing cowboy cosplay. You know what Jen's oldest son is doing? Joining the Marines, serving his country. And what does your oldest boy do again? Cowboy cosplay farmhand. So yeah, Tamra, no one wants your life. So then Tamra pulls up an old picture of Jen and she's like, look how much Jen has changed. Her lips look like two hot dogs now. And she used to be heavy. She shows a picture of Jen where she's maybe a size 8 or a 6. You know, she's like a 0 now. So it's like, girl, anybody who's a size 6 or 8 is not heavy. But I do guess that's heavy to Heather and Tamra because Heather, I mean, I'm not body shaming here, but Heather, nobody wants to look like you because you would just look like a bag of bones. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You should not be talking about Jen because even if she was heavy then, heavy as y'all like to say it, honestly, let's not talk about what any of us look like 10 years ago. There's a lot of technology that we did not have 10 years ago. So don't talk about what me or Jen or anybody else looked like last year or 10 years ago. Let's talk about what we look like today. Because Jen Padrani is a hottie. And Heather, I ain't never heard nobody call Heather a hottie. So please, I don't want to hear it. And I don't want to hear Tamra talking about anybody else getting procedures because Tamra, you know, you have been under the knife more than a Christmas ham. So I don't want to hear it from you. You know who has not been under the knife, allegedly? Gretchen. And Gretchen is pissed that Tamra is always coming for her on that little silly podcast of hers. Always calling Slade a deadbeat dad. Is Slade a deadbeat dad? I don't know, probably. But you know what? His son unfortunately died. His little boy had been dealing with cancer, brain cancer, and he died. So you know what, Tamra? Like, maybe just sit this one out. Like, come on, don't be so evil when somebody is dealing with their child dying. And so right now, Heather is telling Gretchen, why don't you have a little bit of grace with Tamra because her best friend Teddy has cancer. And Teddy, we send you all the well wishes and healing vibes. I think Teddy is on the mend. And Teddy, we do wish you well with that. But Gretchen is like, where was the grace for me? I lost my super old ex fiance to cancer. He died while I was in Bass Lake. And also, my little stepson from my non husband also died. So, where was my grace? Heather, Tamra, where's my grace? So then Tamra's like, well, I think we should leave the kids out of it. And Gretchen reached out to my daughter who doesn't speak to me. And I just want to note Tamra's daughter, I'm not going to use her name because this young lady isn't interested in having anything to do with any of this or her horrific mother. And honestly, I don't blame her. I do know that her daughter has asked her many times, please don't talk about me on the show. And she's doing it again. So her daughter posted something where she's just speaking straight facts about why she doesn't want to have anything to do with her mean mom. And Gretchen commented. She commented on the public forum. And then Tamra has the unmitigated gall to say, you don't involve someone's children. First of all, Tamra, your daughter's grown. She's not a child. She's an adult. And where was that energy when you were getting yourself involved talking about Slade's son who died? Once again, why is there a separate set of rules for Tamra? But then Gretchen reads us a passage from the Bible. The Lord will fight your battles. You need only to be still. Whew, I felt the chills on that one. Reverend Gretchen, thank you for bringing us the good word. Now, we got to talk about this. Did Kandi record Shannon's meltdown? She's like, yes. I sent a voice note of the meltdown to my husband. Girl, what? Kandi. Now, Kandi says that she felt like she had to play dirty because she was like, I felt like it was an eat or be eaten situation. But Kandi, girl, don't you watch The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Didn't you see when Meredith called Brittany vile? You are vile. You're recording us. That's vile. That is a little bit vile, Kandi. I don't like that. Kandi, I don't like that you did that, Kandi. And let me tell you something. I have been, now y'all see how fast I flip flop. I've been championing for Kandi, but finding out that she recorded Shannon's meltdown, I don't know if she played it. She says she only played it for her husband. I don't believe that. I'm not so sure I believe that. Because she was also friends with Alexis at the time. And I do believe I bet you she played it for Alexis. And then, Shannon was involved with the lawsuit with Alexis at that time. So Shannon's pissed. Shannon's blindsided because she's like, look, Kandi, I've been your friend. I've been on your side. When everyone was ganging up on you last week, I had your back. And this is how you repay me. And we're going to get that Shannon versus Kandi showdown next week. And I feel like we're going to get some ongoing showdowns also between Tamra and Gretchen. So this season of OC is shaping up to be pretty good. We love it when the wives clock in and deliver. Now, before we get out of here, I got to give y'all my Tooks takeaway. And today's Tooks takeaway is a little bit more of a Tooks tribute. Today's Tooks takeaway is devoted to our newest Housewife Achievement Award winner, Miss Kandi Burruss. Well deserved, Kandi. And now look at Kandi. Her legacy is living on through her adorable daughter, Riley, who's on Next Gen NYC. I don't watch that show because it's too many young people, but I've heard it's good. If you guys are watching it, like, tell me, and maybe I'll binge it this weekend or something like that. But I definitely want to offer my congratulations to Kandi, our reigning Housewife Achievement Award winner and our first Housewife Achievement Award winner, Miss Vicki Gunvalson, also very well deserved. But I think Kandi deserves it too. I've always said it. Andy loves Kandi. And I got to tell y'all, Kandi's accolades go way beyond Housewives. I mean, she is a Grammy Award winner. I think she just recently won a Tony. I mean, she's the housewife that's most likely to actually become an EGOT one day. So, Kandi, congratulations. I am so proud of you. I love the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And Kandi, you inspire me, girl. You inspire me as a housewife, as a mother, and as a real businesswoman. And also, before we get out of here, I was prepping for today's show when I got the news about Malcolm Jamal Warner. We all know him as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, but he had an incredible career beyond The Cosby Show. I mean, he's a child star who was able to transition into adult roles and still have success. It's unfortunate Malcolm Jamal Warner has passed away in a drowning incident while on a family vacation. I mean, it's so sad. I feel so bad for him. I feel so bad for his family. I know that there's been a lot of really negative stuff about Bill Cosby within the past, several years. But for me, and I think for a lot of people, the Cosby Show was very influential on us when we were kids. And I was talking to my brother this morning just after the news of Malcolm's passing had broke. And my brother was just telling me, how, the same way I was able to watch so many bougie black girls on TV when I was a kid. And it really, I related to them. My brother was talking about how he could relate to Theo Huxtable as a character. And I do want to commend Malcolm because you've never heard throughout his entire career, you never heard any negative press about him. And it's rare that a child star can transition into adulthood and adult acting roles successfully without really having any run-ins with the law. And I think that's really a testament to the type of man that Malcolm Jamal Warner is. And I don't know if some of you know, but back in the 90s, he dated this beautiful actress. Her name is Michelle Thomas. She played his girlfriend Justine on The Cosby Show. She also played Myra Monkhouse on Family Matters. Beautiful girl. She unfortunately passed away at the age of 30. She had a rare form of cancer. And all I could think, actually, the first thing I thought about when I heard about Malcolm's passing is, that he's getting to reunite with Michelle right now. And so my heart goes out to his family. Malcolm, thank you for sharing your talents with us. May you rest in peace. And everyone, please be careful out there. He died in a drowning incident. Please be careful. Please learn how to swim. Everybody, I mean, I'm not saying I don't know if you knew how to swim or not, but everyone, please be careful out there. Take care of yourselves, and rest in peace to you, Malcolm Jamal Warner. And before we officially get out of here, I want to remind everyone, please follow us at LaKendra Tooks, at Tooks Takes. Leave a review, leave a rating. Tooks Takes is growing, and I have all of you to thank for that. So thank you so much. And I pray that my light helps you find your light and you shine so bright. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.